SDP seem to be gaining traction, right? Gaining traction, rather. SDP actually is, if not the oldest, for now, at least among the parties that are registered right now. I think SDP is the oldest. SDP is the platform that Abiola contested on, I think, in 1992, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's if
But
not,
don't forget, those parties were collapsed. They were collapsed, and it only re-emerged in the new dispensation, the current political dispensation. It
yeah.
was
So
not a continuous political party.
yeah, but they still retain, according to
They
what.
are as old as the PDP.
Yeah, okay. And they still have probably in all, they still have structures in the
Mm.
774 local governments area or whatever. So, now, I don't know. We've passed through this road before. The conglomeration of the big wigs, political big wigs, coming together to actually give oxygen to a dead party or a dying party or a party that has been probably on comatose or rather on life support. They did it to Labour. Peter Obi did it for Labour Party in 2023 election. Labour Party was literally nowhere to be found, even though they have had governorship victories in the past. True, I think Shegun Mimiko. I think it was the only there before the emergence of Peter Obi. I think Mimiko, they only had one state then. Is there any state that Labour Party won election?
No,
And
not at all.
and even Mimiko, did he win under Labour Party or he decamped to Labour Party? I can't remember the dynamics of that reign.
He won under Labour Party, but switched again after winning.
So
He
so
just
Labour
left
Party,
to
yeah, so Labour Party
come and
party has
contest.
never been a strong force in any form or shape up to local government level. They've never been that serious until Peter Obi came to whatever. So Peter Obi obviously gave itself oxygen to live again, and we all witnessed what happened. Now they are trying to do the same thing. They are trying to apply the same principle on SDP. Now, this same SDP now seem to be attracting the who is who in all the anything apart from the Tinubu camp. Is now the SDP now seem to be the focus or the potential for all political bigwigs in Nigeria. The Peter Obi's, the articles, El-Rufai is already there, another whatever. So, barrister, I don't get it. Uh, do you think that SDP will eventually emerge, just like I think what they are trying to do now is just do what APC did in 2000, is it 2015, 14, 15, before, yeah, 2014, when they merged ACN, CPC, and which other party, and the new PDP, they came together to form APC that we have today. Now, the PDP is, as far as I'm concerned, I don't get it. We'll be talking about that after this. I PDP is just it's just as good as not there. That's just it. This is shocking to me because I'm surprised at the level and the pace at which PDP became what it is, became what it is today. Honestly, nobody saw this coming. PDP was I didn't see PDP falling to this level of irrelevance. PDP is extremely irrelevant right now in the politics. They don't hold sway of anything, any significant power anymore. It's sort of so they are just Atiku speaks now. Atiku's speech, anyway, his comments or whatever has never hold water anyway. Now it's even the worst. It does not, whatever he says now doesn't count. It doesn't even move a needle. A sort of. Now PDP is coming to people from PDP, Labour Party, and other parties are coming together trying to conglomerate into or to merge into SDP. Barrister, what is your opinion about this? Do you think they can actually come out strong as they expect?
Let me say it, and I want you to mark it down. We will come back to it later when things unravel at a much, much later date. I can tell you now that from my own prognosis, SDP is dead on arrival. And the reasons are this. For now, I am yet to see those credible people who are moving to SDP. That's number one. Number two, the comparison to Labour Party and ACP does not take into account one particular factor. When Labour Party was energized, it was because of one man, Peter Obi. He came into it with his clout, with his popularity, and with his integrity. There was no challenge to his leadership of that party as a presidential candidate. There was none. The same thing happened back in 2014 with Buhari. Buhari came into that alliance, that is ACP, with his popularity in the north.
APC, you just repeated his
APC, sorry, APC. And there was no challenge to his presidential ambition. In other words, you didn't have 2, 3, 4 people, serious contestant to the presidency. Everybody knew that you are coming in to line up behind Buhari. In Labour Party, everybody knew if you are coming, you are lining up behind Peter Obi. Now, fast forward to SDP. If people are coming into SDP now, who are they coming to line up behind? Already we hear that there are 7, 8 presidential candidates so far within the SDP. And in Nigerian politics, that is what always destroys the party. It's always going to. El-Rufai is there. We hear Peter Obi has not yet made a commitment, but he's hobnobbing with them. Atiku is hobnobbing. All of them, even including Atiku, they are not backing down from contesting the election. And you know how Atiku is. Once he loses the election, he will lose interest in the
party. Yes.
In the party.
Very
All these
man.
big, if they succeed in bringing Kwankwaso inside, if he does not get a ticket, that is the end of his interest in the party. Even Rufai himself, if he should not get the ticket, it will be the end of his interest in the party. So you see the difference between what SDP is or where they're going, how Labour Party came to be strong and how APC came to be. There's a world of difference. I always say that in Nigeria, if there's going to be a measure, first determine who will be the candidate of the party, so that any other person coming, we all know we are going under the platform, under the leadership of this person. That way, the unity of the party will be preserved. They can go forward in unison. But when you say, okay, let's come together and build the party first, and then at a point in time, we will determine who leads. It has never worked that way. At the point of determining who leads the party becomes fractionalized, and members scatter. So this is what is going to happen in SDP. I'm yet to see who people will rally around in SDP. So for that reason, I cannot put them as any credible opposition going forward.
Yeah, I agree with you in totality. Absolutely, you are right, because just like you noted, this is a coming together of egocentric men. All of them are full of ego and pride and selfishness. You have El-Rufai, you have Atiku, you have Kwankwaso, you have even Bafara. Okay, Bafara, that is understandable. It's not been in the limelight lately. These are people who are too full of themselves. So definitely no one want to give in to the other one. So that is just, it will eventually be a very messy political war. So that is exactly what will happen. But whether, even if it comes up to be a force to reckon with, it will eventually amount to nothing. let's even assume, let's give them that credit that okay, the party will come together, the forces will be so selfless. The parties involved will be so selfless to actually genuinely want a change for Nigeria, a change, an enthronement, sorry, or a dethronement of Tinubu. Let's even assume they are coming in with that mentality, that sincere and genuine mentality, and they happen to form this credible and force to reckon with. Again, let me ask you, we've talked about this before, but do you think that they can dethrone Tinubu?
Yes, what I said before was just one leg of my saying that SDP is dead on arrival. The second leg is, assuming as you have put it, all these people end up coming together to build the SDP into a strong party that will challenge Tinubu. They will still, a bigger hurdle will come. Who will they choose? If you choose, if Peter Obi should come, the North will not be comfortable with him for one reason. They want, after 8 years, power to return to the North. Now, Bola Tinubu would have done 4 years. So trusting another Southerner to take 4 years is a gamble. Because anybody who takes 4 years, like Peter Obi, who has not ruled before, who still have opportunity to contest again, will not stop midway after 4 years and say, okay, I will give it up. Definitely, if Peter Obi were to be elected, he would like to do 8 years. He would like to run again. The North would not like that because that will stretch the rulership of the South for 12 years. Now, if you choose a candidate from the North in the SDP, they have the same problem. The South are going to say, look, we must do our 8 years. Tinubu has done 4. So we must do our 8 years. So that contradiction cannot be resolved in any way that will make the SDP to be an effective party to take power from Tinubu in any way. That's just one part of it. And then you have to reckon on the strength of Tinubu himself. The power, the finance, the power of the security agencies, the power and control over affairs throughout in every facet of Nigeria. That is a third leg of an insurmountable obstacle to SDP as a party. So when you put these 3 things together, they have a dilemma. Who do we choose? In the North, the rest of the people in SDP from the South will protest. A Southerner, the North will not agree because it is a trap to enable the South to rule for 12 years instead of 8 years. And they will like the power to come back to them.
Now, you've just said something. You brought up something that is important. In a dynamic that is potentially or possibly going to play out. In that case, if that dynamic plays out, it means that all these conflicting interests that are coming together to form a mega party or a mega alliance, it means that Obi at the end of the day may be the one to actually the dynamic may end up favoring him because among all these the big wigs we have mentioned that are switching to SDP, the majority of them are from the North. So if this dynamic happens to play out in the selection, because it's going to be intra-party issue has always been a selection. So if the selection, if the dynamic plays, this such dynamic plays out, it means that the selection will be narrowed down to the South, which gives Obi, because among the whole people now, the names we know now, we've heard that are potentially moving to the SDP for this purpose. Peter Obi is the strongest in the South among the names. So it means that we may be seeing another Peter Obi running for being the front runner not front runner. Okay, for front runner in the expected or prospective mega party.
It does not. It does not follow that way. If you see all the people from the north that are coming into SDP, they are coming into SDP not to favor a Southern candidate. They are
No,
coming into that
barrister,
party. Let
you
me
brought
make
up
the
this dynamic. It didn't occur to me. You articulated this dynamic, and that's why I asked this question. If this that is should such dynamic play out? That's what I mean. If it plays out, and okay, just like you noted, they meet everyone, all of them meet, all of them have conflicting interests. There's no doubt about that. Will they meet and say, come, let's apply it this way so that we'll be able to have, especially majority of them are from the north, we'll be able to have at least a credible and legitimate demand from Nigerians after Tinubu, after 20, that is 2031, right? About 2031, we'll be able to have legitimate demand that this thing now is our turn. We've given you 8 years. It is the next 8 years. It's also whatever. So they may want to agree. Like I agree that dynamic you just mentioned, it honestly could play out. In such scenario, do you see Peter Obi being the front runner when it comes to that such dynamic?
That is just what I'm saying. The North will not trust him, even if he agrees to sign an undertaking, a written one that he will only do 4 years. They would rather prefer a Southwesterner, where the issues will be very clear that the Southwest have taken 8 years. Don't forget, in the South, there are two credible candidates who are coming into the SDP. We have Peter Obi there, and we have former governor and minister Fayemi, who is also, and he has had presidential ambitions for a very long time.
Yeah.
It might be that these people will say, okay, it's better to choose another Yoruba man, so that we can be sure he will just do 4 years, because the Yorubas have already, that would have taken 8 years, than to choose a Southeasterner who we cannot trust to just do 4 years and let the power return to the North. So these things are going to go into their mind on who to back. But for now, they are not coming into that party to support a Southern candidate. It will only be, they are trying, but like El-Rufai is trying by his own right to be the candidate of that party. Other people are also doing from the North. And remember, when the issue in PDP, the zoning in PDP, was clearly that after the North had had the president for 8 years, he should go to the South. Atiku broke that zoning and insisted on contesting. And that is part of the reasons that brought a lot of problems to the PDP. So this may not be a different case. If Atiku comes into SDP, he will insist on contesting for the president. El-Rufai will insist on contesting for the president. If per adventure they find that they cannot, then they will now cast their eyes who in the South will be a better candidate for the North in terms of power returning back to the North after the next 4 years. That would be the consideration that we decide who between Peter Obi, Fayemi, and other people in the Southwest can come up in that SDP.
All right.
So it will not be an automatic.
It
will not be an automatic issue.
Yes, you are absolutely right, especially when it comes to, I didn't take note of Fayemi. Yeah, Fayemi has been a long time, he has always eyed that presidency for a very long time, presidential race, run rather, for a very long time. And besides, just like you noted, honestly, it will be in the North's interest to pick Fayemi as against Peter Obi. Because the East, if Peter Obi is, if let's even assume he's elected president, the East will have very strong ground to extend it to 8 years, because they will
claim
say
to rule for the next 8 years.
8 years, definitely. So yeah, just like you noted, Yoruba, they say, okay, if they pick Fire-Me, they say, okay, Yoruba have ruled for. And besides, they will all want to even pick Fire-Me because of the Western vote as well, because West is important, more important when it comes to electoral votes. The West have much higher votes than the East. So these are the calculations. Okay, you are right anyway. So whatever plays out, it all obviously means that whatever plays out, Peter Obi will not be. I don't see. There is no. It doesn't have a chance. That's based on our analysis, especially all what you have just analyzed right now. Um,
The other issue that I didn't mention, if in the end a northern candidate emerges, like Rufai, for instance, and seeks to choose Peter Obi as his vice, that one too will be a dead option. Peter Obi cannot come from
no,
being a highly favored, a highly
you are
respected presidential
you.
candidate to
Yes,
become a vice president to an Rufai.
no,
So you see, all these contradictions in that SDP is what led me to say that party is dead on arrival in
yeah.
terms of
I,
challenging to the
I
president
think
going forward.
honestly I agree with you in totality. I agree with you. Everything you have said makes sense to me, and there are possibilities. There are very very ample possibilities that will play out. Excuse me. However, like we noted, we've always said it. That no matter, even if we have the best of alliance and they come out, Tinubu will. I've always said it and I will keep saying it. It cannot be overemphasized. This election, 2027 election, people are just going to waste their time, waste their resources, waste their energy, waste everything that they have because it will be a run over, a walkover by Tinubu. My own is I don't understand why people are taking this election seriously. I don't even understand why politicians are spending their money. They are okay, not hard earned money. They stole all the money anyway. So I can understand why they are just doing it because I don't understand how they feel. They are convinced that there will be a credible election in 2027 after what happened in 2023, after what Tinubu did to us as Nigerians and Nigeria in 2023. I don't understand how a sane man in his right senses or her right senses will be planning this planning in a very very robust way, elaborate way, preparing for 2027 election to outseat Bola Tinubu. I don't get it. Barrister, honestly, when I watch the news and I see how people are serious about 2027, they want to unseat or dethrone Tinubu electorally, I just shake my head. Where,
Well, you see,
were we not around in 2023? Didn't we see what happened? What Tinubu was able to, what he did, and what he could do with power, what he did. Remember what the thing Tinubu did, enthroning himself, forcing himself on us, rigging himself to presidency. He did it with money, without power. When he did it, he didn't have the power. He has the money, but no power. This time around, 2027 election, he has the money. He has it even in much more than what he had in 2023, prior to 2023 election. And now he has even the main stuff, which is power. Because power is more powerful than money. He has these two most powerful forces in leadership.
Well, you have to understand that people cannot just sit and say we give up, that nobody can. A lot of factors going forward. Nobody can really say what will
Yes,
happen
my
tomorrow.
point, why
So
I made that point.
let me
Go ahead, finish.
let me learn. Nobody can really say what will happen tomorrow. Maybe assuming he dies or some other God knows I am not praying. I'm just factoring in.
Me, I'm praying,
We
oh.
we are
Forget about
human
that.
beings.
Well, for
We don't
Tinubu to
know.
continue,
We
honestly,
don't
if
know.
God will want to take his life, let him take his life.
We don't know how things will go forward. Nobody is master of his fate. Nobody can say who will be there in 2027 or not. But even at that, people don't organize just for themselves. Even when we know, politicians, even when they know that they will not be able to defeat this person, they still organize as a bargaining chip to bargain with the person for positions and other things. So if you don't have a strong platform, you cannot bargain. The stronger your platform, the better or easier for yourself and for members of your platform to bargain with the person who is stronger, who appears to be leading, who everybody knows will eventually win. So politicians intrigue and organize not just because they know they will win, but they to use it as a negotiating tool to get something from the ultimate winner.
Yeah, that is just trying to be businessmen and women. That's exactly what you just, and that's just the reality, unfortunately. So at the end of the day, they will be either way. They will
And again, let
profit.
me also make the point that this SDP has so many negatives. As long as El-Rufai appears to be the arrowhead in that SDP, believe me, the Christian population of the North are not going to be in that party.
You're right.
You can take it. They are not going to be in that party.
I agree with you. You're absolutely right. Yes, I think we omitted that. And thank you for just bringing that up. You are absolutely correct. Christians, that man hates Christians and Christianity. And he has made it very, very clear, very well known to Christians. So they will never, ever, I'm telling you, they will have very, very low turnout for Christians. And you're right. Now, this issue of not praying for Tinubu to die. Look, I don't be hypocrite. The truth is, every human being. The only thing is that we try. Sometimes we just try to be diplomatic. But the reality is, there's anybody who gives you hard time in life. Anybody who makes your life miserable. Anybody who takes privileges from you. Anybody who makes your entire life much more difficult. Even if you say it, inside of you, you just wish that person dies and just gives way.
I disagree with you. I'm a Christian and I follow Christ. I will never pray for even my enemies to die. I cannot do that. And I don't wish them to die because of my religious belief. That is just it. It's not about, I can detest somebody as much as possible. Even the person that offends me, even you take all my money and leave me destitute, still, by my religious faith, I'm not allowed to pray for you to die.
Barrister, no, we're not even saying pray. Now, Barrister, no, honestly, I still see as human, no matter, it boils down to pretense because inside of, look, do you know what look, let me tell you one thing, Barrister, even though this one is a different topic entirely, you cannot tell me that somebody who is making forget about President Tinubu now. Let's even talk about personal whatever. Somebody who is making your life miserable, who is really tormenting you. And even when you kneel down and pray to God, we are human beings. Even when you kneel down and pray to God, God, have mercy on this person. Yes, he's been my enemy. He's been doing this to me. He's been doing that to me. But have mercy on him or whatever. I am telling you, a part of you inside. Look, Barrister, whether you say it or not, something inside will always desire that sigh of relief from this person. And that sigh of relief that something desires is that what else? That person God should take that person away. I beg, maybe leave that talk. Leave that talk.
Telling you that for myself, I have never had that because anytime the thought of my enemy meeting with a tragedy or death begins to come, I immediately realize that it could be myself because I'm probably an enemy to some other person. So
now listen. Now enmity. No,
the thought.
That's not. I can never be an enemy. Me, I don't think I'm an enemy. It's a different topic. I don't think I'm an enemy to somebody. Why? You know why? Because for me to classify you as an enemy, it means that I have evidence that you are really coming after me. You really are making my life miserable. I mean, there is nobody in my entire life that I have made his or her life miserable in any form or shape. I have always been a vessel of God's vessel in the lives of people to make their life better. So if someone sees me as an enemy, that means I don't know. Now we have the people who just consider you as an enemy because they just hate you. They just hate you naturally, not for any reason. That's not the kind of enmity I'm talking about. The kind of enmity I'm talking about is clear enmity where you just know this person is you have evidences that this person is the reason why you are suffering what you are suffering. Come on, barrister. You could not go there. Now, I leave that talk.